like with most plans, this turns out to be roughly what you want. It may not end up to be perfectly what you want, depending on the amount of scrap wood you got left. And there are my pieces of bracing. Obviously, that's not 34. Oops. Uh-oh. So these are my bracings, and got my Gorilla Glue and my Metabo stapler. Staple works better on this thinner material. This is a really thin quarter. I was going to use something bigger, but I don't have anything I like, so it's fine. It just don't matter. It's going to just be a table. So I'm going to glue this and staple this together, and then we're going to make a back for it. So these are my 3 shelves, and so let's clear. I use this as a workbench a lot, so we're going to do that now. So who's that? Oh, okay. All right, let's make sure we don't get anything mixed up here. This is a mixture of PVC and poplar. Okay, that ought to keep me. That ought to keep me honest. I think one of those I don't need. I don't know. That was a piece of scrap, came out to be almost perfect, a perfect remainder of what I wanted here. So, okay, so I don't know. I guess I'll cut a knot somehow in the backing to allow for that that antenna wire, CATV wire. So yeah, this is pretty good stuff here. This looks all right. But I'm probably just gonna, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'll just stain it or something. I don't know. Whatever I decide. Whatever happens then. Okay, so we got our face wood on there. Little drop of Gorilla Glue on each one and stapled them. Very solid. So now we're gonna put on our middle deal here, and that'll help us square it up. Okay, see, it's starting to look like something, ain't it? Okay, so we can just put our little bit, just double check everything. Okay, so you got to put glue on all of these now. I guess maybe you could sneak it on the other. Maybe you could just do one side and then the other. So let's do this side, because I don't want any glue coming out that way. Okay, so let's so this is our 8-inch. This is going to be either the top or the bottom. I haven't decided. Depends on how I like it when I put it up there. So let's put this up here now. Okay, very strong and very light, and we're going to build on that. Give me a shelf to build a dream on. So now you got to wonder what I'm going to do, because how am I going to staple, a leg into this? Well, we're not going to do it that way. We're going to stagger a little bit. So I'm going to put one here, and then one here, and then we're going to put these on the insides, and that's the way I'll be able to staple it. Now I know that's going to look kind of funny, and I don't mind looking funny because I already look funny. So I only got one piece left. So you could ask yourself a question. Why don't you just take the distance of 2 of these and cut this board and just sort of make it sort of a little bit more symmetrical looking without the and look like there's a reason why you did that other than stapling problems. Well, you guessed exactly right. So now that I've got this going, I can mark this, take it to my chop saw, and I can make it look a little, it's going to have a little bit more personality. You know what I mean? Got to have some personality in woodworking. So this is what it's going. God, I think it's as light as a feather, very strong. Yeah, I decided to go ahead and toenail and not go side to side. I didn't think it was big enough for that. So there you go. I'm trying to decide. I think maybe this will be the front side, because these pieces of this PVC are a little bit thinner. See, they're just a tad thinner. So I think we might just go with this side and paint it. So now we're going to lay it down on that piece of plywood over there, clear this off, and we're going to, can't put that there, that's not my table. If I get anything on it, I'll be in trouble. I think we're going to do it like that. So we're going to put the back on that side. So let's get this over. We can go through them things. I'm about out of them. I got about half a ream left. That ought to get me through through this. This is my list of everything to do, so I can't lose that. So I think we're kind of done. I just got to remember to cut a notch in back there. We all clear here? Okay. So all we got to do is just put this down here and bring that piece of plywood over here and mark it out. I kind of need both hands to do this, but you're just going to trace along this bigger piece of plywood. Piece of plywood, and just sort of make it loosely done, and you can correct for other things later. But now you got to try to. We're gonna cut inside the lead here. Okay, yeah, that's a raggedy edge there, isn't it? I think I can just reach back and do that. Okay. Leave the graphite, I should say, because it ain't lead, it's graphite. So, oh, it's a good song. I like this song. All right, I heard this on a bumper music on something the other day. I thought, that's something. So never freehand on tape saw. Okay. So on this approach, I would cut this first to get this out of the way, and then cut this one, and then start cutting and shaping and stuff like that. And I'm not going to worry about the kerf cutting in on the blade, rounding in, because I got enough to nail to. I got all that other stuff to nail to back there. So I'll probably just run those through and just hammer them over those staples. So I think way ahead. I'm sorry if I go ahead of things, but you know what to do. I think this ain't too hard to figure out. I'm gonna have to go see what this is. Good song. I don't want to get demonetized, so I just always wondered what this song was. I don't know too much about new music. Well, it's a song called Clocks. I didn't know that. Okay, so great song. I love songs. I like the lyrical songs like that. I always like that kind of style. And so anyway, let's move this down here before I knock it off and have. What is that stuff? That glue, that nasty glue. Adhesive, contact adhesive. This is fine. And let's see, just follow the edges. Looks fine, looks fine, looks fine. What's this look like up here? So I got all of this to glue and to staple to. I'll probably just run a couple staples in each one of these. That'll be plenty, because we're not going to be holding up the sky. Atlas does not hold up the world, he holds up the sky. So always keep these things in mind. Okay, so I'm okay with all of this. I wish that was just a little bit better there. So just keep following along. So the only correction I want to make is right here. Okay, we're going to just knock that little corner off right there. We're going to start stapling. I don't want anything to look too bad, It's probably a couple of millimeters or less, but it bugs me. So we've already started here, so you hardly ever get to see this, but you'll see it coming up there. Oh. I need to get both hands on this, but you can see where it protrudes through. I'm just going to get my little hammer and I knock that over. Speaking of knocking something over, let's knock it over before it knocks over and hits the car. Where's my little hammer? There it is. There you are. This is all you got to do. Just make sure you're on a good surface here, and you just. It's not going to foul enough to cause any problems. Okay, so let's see what it looks like. Okay, that's what she looks like. Isn't that precious? So let's see about painting it now. and because I don't, I want to get this thing going. I want to get this on the hump. So what color you want to paint it? Whatever I got most. I got all those browns I used the other day on that chair repair. I'm going to paint it brown. I don't know, light brown, because I kind of want things in there to kind of stand out a little bit. Well, let's see what else I got. I might have something better. I don't know, something lighter, maybe white. I don't really have a whole lot of anything else. I can't do bottle blue, of course. I got this gray. Let's do the gray, because I had the brown out and I was ready. Little brown out. I had it all set, and now I think I'm going to go with the gray, because I kind of want it not to be too dark, because I'm going to be putting stuff on it and in it and everything. So I kind of want it to be kind of a lighter color. So I got my respirator here, so. I almost forgot to cut my notch back here. So let's not forget to cut your notch back here. So my plan is going to be go right down the back. There's nothing else I can probably do. I got those things in there now, don't I? Well, that's the way that goes. Let me think about it. I'm going to have to cut a notch for that cable, because I said I was gonna. So, well, I guess I can cut on this side of them. So that'll be kind of a careful measurement. There goes the compressor. So I'm just going to go for it. This is a pretty tough blade, and I don't think it's going to hit them nail things. We'll find out in a minute, but it ain't going to be anything that horrible. Looks like. So see, what I'm going to do is, you got to go from the long end, because I'm going to use the fence. So I'm probably going to go 18 1/4, and I'm just going to notch it out about it. I don't know. Oh, that ain't helping, is it? 18 1/4. Maybe a little less than that, and I'll be able to notch down that one side. Well, I've got my notch cut for the PD cable right there, but I sort of messed up there, kind of missed it a little bit, and I'm going to have to come up with some other methodology, because I kind of knocked this side loose. So I've got some scrap over here, and I know my dimensions. I got these little bits here, and I'll just make a little backer board and just staple that sucker on up there, and we ought to be fine. So I'll make a little backer piece. Oh, let's drop the blade so I won't mess anything else up. Generally try to drop the blade. So, there we go. We'll be fine. We'll be fine and dandy on that. Just lay a little bead of Gorilla in there and cut it's 9 3/4 and 8, as I remember. Let's make sure. I think it's 9 3/4. Yeah, 9 3/4, and right there, a little under 8. So just a little bit of a fudge up there, but that happens. So this is just real time, just sort of creating as I go kind of stuff. Getting Gorilla Glue all over your hands, which you will regret later. Okay. Well, it just made a little design change here, but that's just the way it is on the fly. So I decided to put little pieces on both sides. See? And now don't that look cool? Don't that look even cool? So yeah, okay, well, looks like I meant to do that. All right. All right, back to painting again, I suppose, because I did remember the knot, so I'm glad about that. And there it is, running all up and down there, so good. And like I said, I ain't worried about these little things here. They ain't gonna do nothing. I gotta think of a way to hang it up. I guess I'll just screw it to the flipping wall, right? Okay, let's see what this gray looks like. I think that's just fine. Okay, I don't want this getting on the cam bot here, so. And I got a whole can of it. Cool. Well, that took the whole can. Okay, well that's okay with me. I finished it, and that's all I care about. So we'll just let this cure out here for a while. Let me get out of here and open this door. Phew! Boy, it smells like spray paint in here. Phew. Get this up quick. Time for some fresh air. And there's the old basketball goal. Let's see how many times it takes me. I will not edit this. Let's see if I can get it. Yay! Uh-oh. That's always a problem. But that's why I carry a big stick over here. If you don't play for a while, the net gets too tight. Come on, baby. Okay. I wasn't much of a soccer player. Wasn't my gig. Just let the fumes get out and let the paint cure up a little bit, and I'll take it up to the house. Don't want it stinking up the place though, you know. Well, I know perfectly well it's just gonna stick in there again. So let me throw a couple of nets here. Let's see. Yay! Give it a little velocity there. Oh, all net, baby, just like I said. From 2 feet away. Okay, so there it is. Ooh, still stinks in here. I think that's dandy. I was toying with the idea of putting some felt on it, but I think it's time to stop. And I don't care about any of the holes here. Don't bother me. It's going to be up a little bit around eye level anyway, so you won't see that much. And what I'm going to put in there, you're going to be fascinated about. There it is, and there's where it's going to go. And I'm obviously going to need both hands for this. I'm going to line this up on this cable. That's pretty much centered, and that'll hide most of it most of the time. And that's about all we can ask for. So I've got my screws in there that are ready to just put up, and I got my level ready. So stick it in my pocket, I guess. I have to arm myself with my drill, and we're going to do our best to put this thing up and get it level. Well, let's see what it looks like. It's got to sit for a little while before I really want to do what I want to do with it. Maybe it's in there. Less than 1 minute later, and we're right on the bubble, and we're just going to hold this drill. We're in good shape. I think that's going to be it. See, cable's going right down in the slot, coming right out down here, and that's really all I need for what I have in mind. And I think that's much better. See, I can put something on the top up there and do all that kind of good stuff. So the paint's still a little sticky, so we're going to probably let it sit for quite a while. And I probably need to get my blade and cut that Gorilla Glue that came out of that side anyway. And I'll just kind of make it, trim it up a little bit. How's that feeling? That's pretty hard, but let's give it some time. Okay, well, there you go. A little gray shelf. Nice little door back here, as we know. It's dusk. See, that kind of is nice. I think it's nice. Well, still kind of creaks back there a little bit, but about 1/5 what it was. Okay. Well, let's take a look here. And I'll brighten it up here. Get a little nat light, as they say. And we'll take a look at it. So there's my little shelf up there. I'm very happy with that. I wanted to put my little Century boat up there, which actually functions. See, there's the motor. And I haven't had it in the water in a long time, but there's everything in it. Works fine. Big capacitor down there. Stabilize the servos. So, yep. And she goes fast too. So I wanted to get that up there and on display a little bit. Now look what else I got. I got all these old tubes. A lot of these boxes actually have the stuff in them. And there's just some old stuff. There's a 45 thing and just things I had, and they just were sitting in a box. There's an old VU meter in the box. I found this too. I found this old lens, this old Japanese lens. So like that, instead of just sitting in a box, you know, we can put it out now. There's a transistor radio. Whoa, radio. So anyway, there's the reason I built it. And so I like having my stuff on display. I have some stuff in here. There's that little boat there. Doesn't say much, do much. But I got some stuff in here too. Another transistor radio. Triplet, Sherry Triplet. I always think of Sherry Triplet when I see that. Don't even think I spoke to her, but I just thought that was a weird name. And there's a Triplet Road that I sometimes go down. I don't know, just remember people like that. Makes you wonder what the last picture was, doesn't it? Because there's a couple of flash bulbs there. And there's other little stuff. So that's going to put an amen on this one. And sure appreciate you all watching. And give me a thumbs up. And subscribe and share. And we'll talk later.